Blessings. Today we're diving into how to create unstoppable momentum in your vibration, unstoppable momentum in your manifestation. See, it starts within the subconscious. When we impress the subconscious, we embody a certain version of ourself. And the vibration, like the energy state, the feeling state that we're in, creates a certain momentum. This is why meditation helps you to get out ahead of the momentum. Now, let's bring it back to the basics. Everything is made of vibration, right? So everything in the world has a certain energy, has a certain vibrational momentum to it. From the media, on the television, to the food that you eat, to the conversations that you have, everything carries a certain momentum to it. So as we become conscious creators, we start becoming mindful. We start developing self-awareness. You start paying attention to the momentum of your vibrational state because you understand that every thought that you think has a certain vibration. Now, this goes a lot deeper than just think better thoughts about unicorns farting rainbows. As we feel the deeper feelings, as we allow ourselves to feel and integrate the shadow or the old feelings of the different versions of ourself that are coming up in our awareness, that's like what Joe Dispenza talks about, the breaking the habit of being yourself. It's becoming familiar with the habitual self, because that's what self-awareness does. We're not ignoring the uncomfortable emotion. We're bringing the full awareness to it. That's why the feeling is the healing and the awareness is the conduit for transformation. So the more that we develop awareness and the more that you're able to meet the feeling in the moment, in the present moment awareness, it breaks that kind of hypnosis or that spell or that vibrational momentum over you. And then we're able to liberate that energy. So bringing the awareness more and more into the moment also brings more, it like frees up your bandwidth to be able to focus on a future vision. So meditating first thing in the morning, utilizing the state when you're going to sleep, utilizing these points of natural relaxation in the rest and rise cycle to reprogram the subconscious, to go deep into the stillness and then introduce a new momentum. New momentum automatically gets introduced because electricity it just works, right? When you plug the appliance in, you're plugging it into the source. So when you let go of all resistance, when you forgive, when you choose to no longer stay in the addiction to the familiar energy of what's comfortable and what's known, and stay in the ruminating and stay in the resentment and stay in the regret and the repeated memory patterns of that. So we're breaking the cycles when you fully feel it. That's different than just repeating the negativity. That's what breaks the hypnosis. That's what breaks the spell. That's what breaks the old momentum, is by fully meeting it in the moment. This is moment to moment in your waking life. This is in the waking dream of your manifestation. Every moment is new. Every moment is now. That's what they meant when they said, in the beginning was the Word. The now is the beginning. So in the beginning is the Word. So when you go to the end state, when you feel the feelings that are coming up and process and like allow yourself to clear through those subconscious patterns and integrate those old feeling states and allow your energy to clear your energy, you free up space to now when you go to the end state, you're in the moment, bringing the future into the now, and you're introducing a heightened feeling state. And it's like your true self, or that version of you, that source connected version of you, is already at a higher vibration. So the more that we let go of the denser layers and stories and attachments and labels and meanings that we attach to things, the freer that we become to be able to consciously choose where to put our focus and what meanings. That's also where it comes into being able to reframe. So the more that we're able to observe our stories and realize that nothing has any intrinsic meaning other than what we give to it, we can reframe the past. We can reframe the past, and we can also reframe the present moment, where we're able to pick a direction and we're able to pick a momentum and be able to, in that freeing of that energy, be able to fully choose what energy you're wanting to embody. And as we allow ourselves to do that, that's when you get into that unstoppable momentum. Now, I've been noticing that old patterns from the past, coping, I was vaping for a while and I've just quit that. And the feeling around that was something that I hadn't done in a long time. And I felt all this shame around it. And I realized that I wasn't fully breathing. I wasn't fully welcoming in life. And this was like a pattern that felt comfortable and safe. But when you start fully feeling the uncomfortable emotion, then it's like you start outgrowing it. And then it was like I started outgrowing it, and I'm just like, this isn't doing anything for me. And then you start recognizing, as you pay attention to your energy state, I started recognizing like doing these patterns, like drinking alcohol. Like anytime I drink alcohol, I just recognize it was like making me feel worse and worse. But I also understand what it's like to like work all day and then you feel tired. But the thing is that when you know, I would do that and then I come home and then I drink like a beer or something, is that if you start doing that as a pattern, it starts putting you into that pattern of that biochemistry, where now you're seeking something outside of yourself in order to bring that relief. And the more that I was able to start bringing awareness to how I was trying to find that sense of relief, then I realized that as I was meditating and as I was like feeling myself coming into a clearer place, that when I would drink or when I would smoke, it was like just causing my vibration to go down, and it wasn't giving me any relief. So then I started meeting the uncomfortable feeling, and now it was like, okay, it's easier to let go of these things, and it's easier to let go of the stories around those things. And to feel also the feeling of the shame around that, because oftentimes what we seek in addictions, like we're trying to find something outside of ourselves that we didn't have when we were a kid, like a feeling of, or where you, how do you even describe it? It's like where the feeling of nurturing and feeling of safety aren't there. We feel like we need to get our source of happiness outside of ourselves, or we find these coping addictions. But as we start to like fully go into the feeling and fully go into the breath and start to break the spell of that momentum, we start to free up, we start to feel and heal and free up that energy. And then we're able to let go of those stories and those attachments and those familiar patterns. And then you get ahead of it. Then it's like you can wake up. It's like waking up early and meditating and fully letting go, fully opening and surrendering ourselves to divine source, and then visualizing, feeling it as though it's already done, working and scripting and writing yourself into an inspired new story, new energy, in whatever way feels inspired to you, and tuning your vibration. So now you've created a clear, powerful intention to be living in your passionate purpose, to step into the flow state and receiving the inspiration, because it's not you. Nothing in your world changes because you want it. It changes because you be it. You're not thinking of it, you're thinking from it. And as you allow yourself to step into that version, that's what creates that unstoppable momentum. That's what creates allowing yourself to do the inspired action, even if it's perfectly imperfect, even if it's like allowing yourself more to express and to lean into the mystery, because that's where all the power is in the unknown. So when you tap into your greatest version, that's also the power of connecting into the breath. And that's what I found using practices like priming, where you're priming the pump, you're activating the breath, and then you're raising the energy up, and you're clearing your chakras, and you're raising the energy up and activating your third eye, and you're like opening into a higher vision. Much like Joe Dispenza's supernatural breathing. And in that state, also really going into the heart space and activating and clearing the heart and activating the energy of gratitude in our lives starts to activate this magnetic field in the heart. And this is something that I've been finding too, is like, as I'm going into that space, I'm also any sort of resentments or any sort of things from my past, people that I need to forgive, I just start going in and just forgiving everyone, because that's how you polish the heart. It's like a heart polishing meditation, that the more that you just go into that space, anything that needs to be let go of or cleared or forgiven comes up. And as you do that, the more you're able to open the heart, and more of that energy, of that blessing starts to come through. Because as you bless yourself, you bless the world, and you start to embody that authentic energy of your heart intelligence linked to infinite intelligence, communicating, translating through your intuition, your inner tuition, which gets you in to witchin, through the magic of your own connection to divine source, in translating. Some people call it channeling, other people call it flow state. It doesn't really matter what you call it, because everyone does it. It's where you get out of your own way and you feel the stream flowing through, and whatever your zone of genius, the specific way that your brilliant spark of creative intelligence activates your passionate purpose, the words, the images, the ideas, the inspirations, the synchronicities, the opportunities, the doors open unto you, and you step into it. The new life is real. You give yourself the permission to get ahead of it, to meditate your way into the grace. You do not conjure grace, you align with grace. The energy, the flow of energy, and you allow yourself to ride it like you're riding the wave, like a surfer. And it's like, and that's something today I was saying to my higher self. I open myself to the abundance of the universe, and I fully surrender myself to the flow of infinite intelligence guiding my life, and I allow it to act through me. And that act of aligning yourself with your higher self, aligning yourself with the highest service to all beings, and fully giving yourself over to a higher power, which also is your higher self. You allow it to move through you and you feel it, and then it's like you step into that momentum, and that's what gets you consistently in that flow state. It's like that passage from the Bible. There are many rooms, there are many mansions in my Father's kingdom. If it were not so, I would have told you. If you go unto the room, it will be prepared for you. And then I will go and meet you there. Now the I is the I am of your own consciousness. When you go unto the room or the space or the one of the many mansions of the kingdom of God's imagination, the creative imagination, the many realms of the parallel realities, you go unto the space, you go unto the future reality in your feeling state, then you go and it is prepared, you prepare it through your feeling in the now, and then when it says, I will go and meet you there, it's the I am will meet you there. It will be prepared for you. All you have to do is assume the feeling. Assume the feeling. Cultivate the feeling. Cultivate your self-awareness. Give yourself all of the good mental diet and focus yourself on the spiritual technology consistently every day, and feast mentally upon the marriage with your own dream reality, with your own imagination, with the feeling state of what you want to create, and fully devote yourself, fully allow yourself to synchronize with that, and you will be in an unstoppable momentum of creativity, because you don't have to conjure the creativity. Creativity is your essential being. Creativity is the creative consciousness, that it already exists. We just access different levels of it as we shift our state. So thank you for tuning in to the channel, guys. If you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment, let me know where you're tuning in from in the world. And any future ideas you have for videos. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the bell, and continue to stay tuned in to videos that help you stay in alignment. Peace and many blessings.